Hey, welcome back to the channel. Long time since I've posted, but I've been pretty busy doing other things. I have been working on the engine though, so little short video to show some progress on assembly. Putting on the governor cover here. Takes 4 bolts. Doesn't take long. But I did have to take this side shaft and governor all off and all apart again because I forgot one part in there, one spacer washer. So these international engines are kind of like that. There's a set way to put them together, and if you don't do it that way, then you're doing a lot of taking apart. So tightening down the nuts now went pretty fast. YouTube time is pretty fast. Moving on to the top plate of the crankcase. This is a dry crankcase. All the oil that ends up in that crankcase runs out the back through a breather. There's a mechanical lubricator that goes on top of this plate that oils the 2 main bearings on the crank and oils the piston, and then the crank has a hollow oil passage in it to do the rod bearing as well. So anyway, get these bolts tightened down. These are some of the high crown bolts that we made video a while back. If you haven't watched that video, take a look at it, and also like and subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing here. It sure does help the channel out and makes motivation for me to make more videos too. Moving right along to the back access plate. This is the one you use when you're tightening the rod. And get that closed up. What's the deal with that ratchet strap on the crank back there in the background? Well, I've only got one flywheel on here, so I was a little nervous about that crankshaft moving around because I don't have the main bearing cap on that side of the engine yet. So just put something on there to give it a little more stability. And here we are putting that main cap on. Takes 2 bolts down in the main to hold the cap on, and then those bolts around that perimeter of that access plate. That access plate is actually how you get the crankshaft in and out. Made a video on doing that. You might take a look at that if you're interested in how that crankshaft goes in there. Crankshaft weighs almost 70 pounds on this engine. So we'll get this tightened down, and then we'll be ready to put the mixer on. Getting pretty close on this engine. Got just a few more things to do and one more part to make, and then we'll be able to say we're done. So we'll get the mixer set on this engine, and it'll really start coming together there. You notice I got the rocker arms on the engine too. This mixer went back together. You remember early on we had to make a butterfly throttle shaft and clean it all up, and I got it all assembled. Put a bolt in here. It's got one on the front and one in the back. The one in the back's really hard to put on. The front one's not so bad, so we'll start with it. Then we'll move to the back. This mixer has a starting bowl up top. You put gasoline in that. These were kerosene engines, so they'd run on kerosene. You'd start them on gasoline. When they warmed up, you'd switch them over. But we're just going to run it on gas. Finish with a few shots of how the engine looks coming together. Thanks for watching, and next video we'll be making a piece of trip linkage for the igniter. It's going to be kind of complex. It's going to be made out of bar stock, but it's got a sphere feature on the end of it. I got to turn manually and then put flats on that and drill it and stuff. So it should be a good video for setting up and making kind of a weird small part that's actually going to be pretty complex. So again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe on the channel. We've got to do igniter work and fuel line, and then we'll be done with this engine and see if it'll run.